he would be against a guy who tries with his checkbook to write a check and win an election, when that money is money that has been delivered to him on the backs of good citizens through essentially fraud. We all know that he would be against dramatically a man like that being nominated or running or certainly being elected in the state of Florida. He would be against a guy who really represents a program that is nonsense. On jobs, Rick Scott's program is nonsense. We've all seen the last 15 years, have we not, of complete Republican rule. 12 years since my father left the governor's office, 15 years, the House, the Senate, and the governor's office. And what have we seen? We've seen massive tax cuts. We've seen, did any of that trickle down to anybody that you know? The $5 billion a year that Jeb Bush made in tax cuts, has that trickled down to make your schools better in Broward County? No. To help your kids get health care? No. To create better jobs? No. To build roads? No. To strengthen our communities and our families? No. The answer is no. And this is more of the same, only with a guy that's got a more shady character than people that we've seen in that office in the past. Folks, Alex Singh, to me, and it's a matter of public record that we've had our disagreements. But what brings us together is so much stronger than what divides us. What brings us together is the desire that she carries in her heart with 25 years of committed service to this state and to the business community, that we want a government that's transparent, that's accountable, that people can look at and feel, my government is honest. My government, what they tell me is true and it's right. And that's who Alex Singh is in her heart. We will not have that under a Republican administration, particularly the administration of the guy that's running for governor right now. That is a critically important element. And I will work as hard as I possibly can between now and Election Day, travel anywhere in the state, from the Panhandle, across South Florida, to speak for Alex and to hold her banner, because that reason alone is one of the most important reasons that we restore trust in our government, and we make people feel like their voice of everyday Floridians is important and will be heard, and we will be serious as Democrats, and we will be serious as a party, as a state, in making our government more accountable and reforming the problems we've seen in the Public Service Commission, the fact that we can see a Speaker of the House indicted and arrested, a Republican Party chairman indicted and arrested, members of the Public Service Commission that are willing to stand up to consumers, and they're kicked out of office because they're willing to stand up. Those things need to change, and Alex Singh will change those things, my friends. The other essential reason that I'm here tonight and that Alex Singh's campaign means so much to the state of Florida is that our people are desperate for jobs. We've got a country now, we've got a state now that's very insecure. There's nobody that hasn't lost a job, somebody in their family that hasn't lost a job or isn't threatened to lose a job or has a job that's not producing enough income for their family to make their ends meet. And this is absolutely job one, it's essential. And as I said, her opponent's position, if you want to see the metrics that we've had in the past, which is 1 million people unemployed in Florida, effective unemployment of 15%, we'll continue with that, and we'll get that. If we want to see change, we want to see less permitting problems, we want to see a reform for small businesses, a lifeline where credit access is made available. We want to see green jobs created, where we can get our construction industry back to work through making houses more energy efficient, through putting solar on houses. By converting 3% of our houses a year to solar, we make 40,000 jobs in the state of Florida. We're the sunshine state, for goodness sake. Why aren't we doing it? We're not doing it because the Republican Party's not been willing to stand up to the power of the investor-owned utilities. Alex Singh will stand up for a renewable portfolio standard. She will make the utilities have effective conservation measures which are going to create tens of thousands of jobs in the state of Florida. Thirdly, we've got to be behind Alex Singh and work as hard as we can until November, because our children and our families and our communities depend on our going from 16th in funding for corrections and 49th in education. We've got to change that priority. We're spending $2.5 billion on our most expensive social program, which is prisons. 70% of those people that are in those prisons are in there for substance abuse and alcohol treatment, that they could get those treatment in community programs. Folks, we could save billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. We can go to a pre-K, and we can have a quality pre-K program. We can have a quality K-12 program. When my father was governor, when he left, we were spending 65 cents of the education dollar from Tallahassee. Today it's 40 cents. That burden has been pushed down to local government. That will continue under a Scott administration. He wants to cut 20% from property taxes. Local communities are already flat broke and busted. Where's the money going to come from? It's going to come from continuing to make schools the worst in the country. We cannot have a state that we're proud of and having our schools ranked 49th in graduation rates and reading at grade level. Alex Singh's going to fix that. Again, I have deep convictions. I know you do, and I know the average Floridian does, that our government's got to be accountable. It's got to be transparent. People's voices have got to be heard. People need to believe and have hope that the government will get on their side and off their backs in terms of making small business more effective in Florida, creating more jobs in Florida, getting the future jobs that our people need, and really making our healthcare and our education systems, again, national quality leaders. That's who we are as Floridians. We need to be leaders. That's what our people in the communities are doing. They're standing up and they're standing in the gap, and the government is not behind them. And that's going to change under Alex Singh. So I know you know what to do. We all know what to do. We can't work hard enough. If on November 2nd we don't get the result that we needed, it can't be because we didn't put everything that we had into it. Thank you very much. Let's get Alex Singh.